Chicago Bears fans, NFL draft nerds, welcome in. Today we have got a 7-round mock draft for the Bears. We're going to look at the roster, where they need to improve, talk some free agency, get into that 7-round mock draft. We're going to do it all here today. This stems from, and I do this for every team, right? We love to talk about the draft here at Rogue Football. It's all draft all the time, team building, having a good time here, trying to get these teams headed in the right direction. I think the Bears, in a big way, are headed in the right direction. Talk about Ben Johnson coming in as that hot shot offensive head coach, play caller, bringing in Dennis Allen as a defensive coordinator. I don't think it gets much better than that, honestly. So there's definitely some excitement. There's cap space, $60+ million in salary cap space for the Bears. Young quarterback, Caleb Williams. You got to be excited about that. Murray's hanging out here. If y'all haven't tuned in here before, little dog Murray likes to run around and disturb the show. So, look, the Bears, I think this is a franchise that you can get excited about, that you're headed in the right direction. But on the other side of that coin, you're in the NFC North. You've got to deal with the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, and the Minnesota Vikings. And now I think the Bears are in a position heading into 2025 with the draft capital, with the roster, with the coaching, with free agency, the cap space they have. The goal should be to make the playoffs in 2025. I don't think that the goal should be anything less. And the goal should be to be able to build upon that for years to come, right? You look at this roster, I think outside of, look at the offensive depth chart, outside of the interior of the offensive line, you're in pretty good shape overall, right? You have two really good receivers. Obviously, Keenan Allen is headed to free agency, probably will test free agency, but DJ Moore and Romo Dunze, that is an awesome duo. You also have your tight end, Cole Kmet, very good football player. Gerald Everett will be around as well. You have at tackle Darnell Wright and Braxton Jones. You also drafted Kieran Amagaji, who is a developmental player. I think you have a pretty darn good tackle situation. I'm not sure why everybody thinks that the Bears need to move on from Braxton Jones, upgrade from Braxton Jones. I think he's a pretty good player. It's really on the interior where you have 3 free agents, right? Tevin Jenkins, maybe you bring back, maybe you don't. Center, you need to probably upgrade that situation. Coleman Shelton going to be a free agent. Matt Pryor at right guard going to be a free agent as well. Ryan Bates will still be in the building, who the Bears signed last year. So overall, I look at this roster, and obviously Caleb Williams, who I have full confidence that Ben Johnson will be able to maximize Caleb Williams' skill set in the coming years. At running back, you have decent guys, right? DeAndre Swift, Roschon Johnson. Could you try to really upgrade that spot? Yes, and the reason we're doing this mock draft today is because yesterday I did a full first-round mock draft for the entire NFL. Some Bears fans were not too happy with my pick. I'm going to show you how this offseason can work with the pick that I made, right? So, offensively, we really just need to upgrade the interior of the offensive line. That's what needs to happen, okay? And then defensively, I look at the secondary. I feel great about it. Absolutely great about the secondary. I look at the linebackers, feel very strongly there as well. You got TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. No issues, right? Defensive front-wise, you have Montez Sweat, who you love, right? Gervon Dexter, still developing, young football player out of Florida, interior defensive line. You have Andrew Billings, who's still going to be there. Zach Pickens, still developing. You have DeMarcus Walker. You have Austin Booker, who you drafted last year, who I think has certainly a projection that you can get excited about long-term. I think you could upgrade. I think you could say we could probably use a starter at edge. Probably use a starter on the interior as well. Starting caliber player, or at least a heavy rotational guy. So I don't think the Bears are a team that's like laden with all these massive needs. I think that the coaching is going to get more out of the talent that they have. They've got to upgrade the interior of the offensive line and some upgrades here and there on the defense up front. You could be cooking. I think. I think we're signing a guard, whether it's Tevin Jenkins, whether it's Trey Smith if he hits free agency, whether it's Mekhi Becton, Will Fries, James Daniels coming off an Achilles, but you could bring him back to Chicago as well. There's a lot of options for the Bears to upgrade at guard. I think we're also signing a rotational or starting caliber edge, somebody who can impact the game as a pass rusher. There's a couple guys out there that I feel really good about that, and one of them is Azeez Ojulari, who I think can absolutely come in, not going to get paid a ton, but can help upgrade a pass rush. And then you look at interior defensive line wise. Again, there's a number of rotational / starting caliber guys you could potentially bring in. And you could swing for the fences at edge. There's going to be some guys out there that are going to get paid quite handsomely. I would go for more the middle tier at edge, and I would do the same thing defensive interior wise. I think you could look at somebody like Poona Ford, just versatile, tough football player, can give you some good production there. And other than that, I don't think you need to do too much in free agency. You head into the draft, you have the 10th overall pick in the draft, right? And that's a great spot to be in. It is a great spot to be in for the Chicago Bears at 10 overall. I think the goal needs to be landing a massive impact player. Go get the best player that you can get regardless of position. And for me, for the Bears, that's Ashton Jeanty. I think Ashton Jeanty to Chicago, if you can upgrade that interior of your offensive line, is going to massively help out Caleb Williams by being a tremendous running back, which he absolutely is. He's a blue chip prospect. He's currently my 3rd ranked player in this class. Unbelievable contact balance, very quick, agile, breaks tackles, drags guys through the hole. He has the vision and patience behind the line. Once he has to make somebody miss, he can do that with agility, with his ability to jump cut. He can do that by running through your face. He's got speed to the edge. He's explosive. I think Ashton Jeanty is the total package. And you add in the fact that I do think he has a lot of talent as a receiver and very good pass protector. Ashton Jeanty is the complete back. You add him to this offense. He helps out with the running game in a huge way. Yes, I know you have DeAndre Swift. I know you have Roschon Johnson. Neither of those guys are stopping me from adding a blue chip prospect at any position, right? Ashton Jeanty, I think, is the best play for the Chicago Bears here at 10 overall. And then, again, we already addressed guard. We're going to address it again. We're going to address center as well. I think this is a good class to do both of those things. But we are not going to eschew value in order to do so. So we're going to go ahead and pull up interior offensive line. And Tyler Booker, what do you know? He's sitting there at 39 overall. Is it possible he falls that far? I don't think it's likely. But he's not going to test extremely well as an athlete. This guy is more of a, we're going to win at the point of attack. We are going to blow you off the ball, both in the run game and as a pass protector. He will rock guys. I think it's a perfect fit for the Chicago Bears and for Ashton Jeanty, for Caleb Williams. You want to clear holes for Ashton Jeanty? Tyler Booker. You want to protect Caleb Williams? Tyler Booker. Easy pick there. Easy pick there. He is around 20 on my big board right now. You can get him at 39, and you have 2 second-round picks, which is absolutely huge. So we're going to take a look at edge. We're going to take a look at interior defensive line, because I do think if you have the opportunity to draft an impact player at one of those spots, you should do so. Looking at the interior of the defensive line, I think that we have missed out on some of the top guys that I would have loved to have added. Darius Alexander being one of them. TJ Sanders, I think, has a high ceiling as well as an interior pass rusher. Tyleik Williams. Let's take a look over at edge and see what we've got. Landon Jackson, Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau. Again, at both of these spots, we've missed out on a lot of guys. Now, that's not a total loss because we added in free agency at both spots. And again, the Bears have $62 million in free agency, 60 plus million, excuse me. Don't remember the exact number. 60 plus million to go fill out the defensive front. So I think at this spot, could still consider one of those guys at edge or defensive interior. No question about it. I think JT Tuimoloau is a good consideration here. I think Alfred Collins is a good consideration here as well when you consider the fact that Collins is going to be an elite run defender from the jump. He's going to get that run defense jump started in a big way. You've got a lot of guys that can help defend the run up front. Alfred Collins would do that in a big way for them. JT Tuimoloau would do the same, but from the edge position. And he's a dirty work guy. He does so many of the little things that don't show up on the box score. being quick to see the screen, being quick to diagnose RPO situations, read option. I think either of those guys would be a really good value at this point for the Chicago Bears. I think Siobhan Revell, I mean, he's an unbelievable talent, Siobhan Revell. You could also look at receiver here, going and getting that third receiver. You had a three-headed monster at receiver last year. Keenan Allen probably going to hit free agency. Do you want to go add a guy who can man the slot? I think that Alec Manor would be a good value at this spot. Xavier Restrepo would be really exciting as well. Tez Johnson. Think about the different ways that Ben Johnson can utilize these different skill sets. We could also look at going and getting our center. Jared Wilson. I think this is a bit early for him, but he is a very talented center prospect. There's no question about that. At offensive tackle, Donovan Jackson still on the board. That's incredible. I'm just looking at guys that could potentially kick inside for you. Oh, and there's our center right there. Marcus Mbo. Absolutely. And I know that they have him ranked in the 85 range, 77 average draft position. I think Marcus Mbo, again, he's listed at tackle here. His best position is going to be center at the NFL level. And I think he has unbelievable upside as a center. With his mobility, his ability to snatch trap, he's extremely aggressive. Yeah, Marcus Mbo, sign me all the way up. And now you're looking at these first three picks. We have addressed the offensive line, interior offensive line in a big way. We already signed a guard. We got Ashton Genty. We're cooking on offense with Ben Johnson here. Tyler Booker and Marcus Mbo are incredibly talented. Love that. And now let's go try to find some values up front on defense. Taking a swing on Deone Walker could be worse, right? Could be worse in the third round here. It's a big swing. It is a big swing for Deone Walker. If he hits, he could be one of the most dominant interior rushers on the planet, but he's got to get that pad level down. Got to get that pad level down in a big way. So here you're looking at some rotational type edge rushers, certainly. Josiah Stewart came on Rucker, Q Robinson, Ashton Gelati. I like all of them. I don't know that any of them are great values at this spot. Talk about adding value. Let's take a look and see if we can add a big time pass catcher. And that doesn't have to come from wide receiver. We can go 12 personnel a lot more than we do right now. I know Gerald Everett's there, but he's not. Oh, yeah. So Elijah Arroyo and Mason Taylor should both be gone. Long gone. Elijah Arroyo is an unbelievable talent. You pair him up with Cole Kmet as your tight end duo long term. I love that. Absolutely love that. He is over 250 pounds, over 6'5", has great length, has unbelievable quickness and fluidity as a route runner to create separation. He has soft hands, does not drop the football, can go up and get some contested catches as well. That's really fun. And yeah, we've missed out on some edge guys, but I think Braden Swinson is a great swing at this point in the draft. Does not get a lot of buzz, a lot of attention, but he's somebody who I think has a ton of upside. And you have Montez Sweat, right? You have signed an edge like, again, Azeez Ojulari. You have Austin Booker. I don't think the situation is as dire as a lot of people kind of put it. And I do love the idea of adding a Braden Swinson here. Now, Dennis Allen, he's probably going to like him some big edge guys. Braden Swinson doesn't necessarily fit that mold, but you got to go get the best talent you can. And I think he has the potential to be a really strong edge rusher as a rotational guy. A very productive season for LSU. Now, we're going to continue to just try to add value where we can here. I think Cameron Jackson is a incredible value at this point in the draft. He's massive football player out of the University of Florida, over 340 pounds. He's explosive off the ball, has good hands. He can kind of dictate two interior offensive linemen with his length and strength. Help you shore that interior up long term. Here for that. Couple picks left here. And we're just going to try to find guys that are going to make this roster better on the back end. I don't know why Tyler Shough is always available. I would love him as a backup on any team. Arm talent, experience, the ability to make plays off platform, both on the move and, throwing from different odd arm angles. Tyler Shough, put him on the board. And then, Clay Webb too. That's a nice Clay Webb. Let's look at those interior guys that are down here at the bottom. I think Clay Webb really impressed me at the Senior Bowl. You go back and look at his tape at Jackson State, very good. Jacksonville State. Yeah, I think as another, guy you can rely on as a backup on the interior. I think he could play center or guard. Yeah. Let's go for it. We don't really worry what PFF has to say about the draft grades here. Bottom 13% of Bears drafts, right? Yeah. I don't subscribe to PFF's grading system in terms of the draft here. I think Ashton Genty, Tyler Booker, Marcus Mbo, Elijah Arroyo, you have now set your offense up in such a way that Ben Johnson is going to get immediate results. And then we drafted a couple defensive front guys. Again, we added to the defensive front in a big way in free agency. I think this would be a hell of a way to go for the Bears. Getting a blue chip running back to pair with your blue chip quarterback. You've got a great top two at receiver. You shored up the interior of the offensive line in a big way. Whether it's Tevin Jenkins, Trey Smith, Mekhi Becton, then you pair one of those three guys with Tyler Booker, Marcus Mbo. Yeah, let's roll. If you're a Bears fan, let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.